What's up, coffee blurs? It's my impression of a white guy making a YouTube video about coffee. First things first, I'm the realist.
First things first, I'm the realist.
Shout out to this shirt that I bought from Black Coffee Roastery. Yeah, check it. I'm tagged so you can check it out. Get you a shirt, not sponsored. Today, I'm gonna show you my process for making my next coffee blend. Now, usually I start with a single coffee in mind. It may not even be the most prevalent coffee or the coffee that I use the most of in the blend, but it's the one that I can't get out of my head. Or it's the one that maybe I just have the most of to spare. In this case, the blend I wanted to start off with is Everybody's Busy, the Onyx collab. So this blend to me is a little on the darker side with notes of cacao nib, winey, maple, and orange peel. But with this coffee in mind, the winey aspect really made me want to hone in on some of the qualities that I get from anaerobic coffees. So like winey, grape, other cacao nibs. So the next coffee I had in mind was Black and White Coffee Roasters, anaerobically processed from Uganda. This one has notes of grape, red fruit roll-up, and boozy. It's the boozy and grape traits that I really wanted to bring out and combine with the Everybody's Busy. Half-wit's Guatemalan with notes of cacao nib, strawberry, and plum. The cacao nib and plum I thought would complement and go with perfectly with the previous two coffees. But also the strawberry. I had in mind that I really want this blend to be full of dark fruits and berries and winey. And I thought the strawberry note that really comes through in this coffee would add a little bit of lightness to some of these other kind of dark flavors. I don't usually do a 4-coffee blend, but I had to add Buna's de Filis. It's a naturally processed Ethiopian coffee with notes of, yet again, cacao nibs and blueberry. And the blueberry is quite strong in this one, just has an overwhelmingly present presence without being overwhelming. So my first step is generally to kind of guess at proportions and brew them all up. Because I've tried all these coffees, I generally have in mind which I think should take up a smaller percentage of the blend because it's more likely to overpower some of the other coffees. And I have a sense of which coffee I think should be more prominent. Another reason I don't spend that much time on my first attempt, I just kind of throw them together and guess on proportions, is number one, intuition, baby. I got that coffee intuition. You know what I'm talking about. But also, I can taste it and see if any of the coffees obviously don't belong, like should not be there, or should be like way reduced. So I already did that. I made brew number 1. Nothing tasted obviously out of place, so it's actually pretty good. So my next step is to smell all of the coffees and smell them together. What I'm trying to do here is, again, just kind of get a better sense of which coffees might overpower, which coffees will be more complementary, which coffee should maybe be the base, the one I have the most of in the blend. And you can actually get a lot of that through just smelling. Often, at least from what I found, the aroma that you get as well as the strength of the aroma is a really good indication of the tastes and the strength of those tastes in the final brewed coffee. And since I have tried all those coffees, I know that to be true for these as well. And I know which of the flavors I tend to pick up most heavily on when I brew them. So let's smell some beans. When I do a little dab, by the way, I'm not trying to smell my armpits. Smelling your shirt or something clean, something neutral can just help reset your nose so you don't have the aroma of the last coffee you smelled still up in there when you smell the next coffee. I'm going to reset the nose palette on my first round of smelling the coffees, and then I'm going to kind of pick up coffees to smell again without the reset so I can continue to get a sense of these coffees that I'm trying to make go together. Okay, so here's what I got. The Onyx Everybody's Busy collab coffee. Bam, check it. How cool is that? So the aroma is fairly strong and it smells kind of dark roasty. That makes it really easy to overpower all of the other coffees. So I'm going to use a minimal amount of that coffee. I'm also going to try a version without it just to make sure I'm making the right call and including it because of its very strong presence. The Black and White Coffee Roasters Anaerobic Natural, its power is coming from the flavor notes. I'm getting like a punch of flavor, which is really good for my blends to have one of those with a like pack of flavor, like a real pow. So for that reason, I'm not gonna use a whole lot, but it will probably come in seconds. That pack of flavor can also somewhat easily overpower the other coffees, but it also makes it really easy to complement with. So I'm also not gonna use a whole lot, but it will probably come in seconds as far as how much of the blend it's going to take up. The half-wit Guatemalan coffee. So remember, it's the very strong presence of strawberry that I wanted to include in this blend. I just want a hint of the strawberry, just a hint. So that's why it's not going to be a whole lot of that. On the 4th coffee, it has a lovely aroma. It's not very overpowering. It's not very dark. Pleasant note of blueberry that is not punching me in the face, but is clearly present. So this coffee is actually going to be what I'm going to call my base coffee, the one that I use the most of. And I'm going to use the other coffees too. Add specific flavors to the blend, complement the existing flavors in the Buna coffee, and to add a little complexity, both in flavor and even the roast, which is where the Everybody's Busy coffee comes in. So that's the basics of my process in creating a coffee blend that is fire. I'm going to blend these up, take some notes, probably do a few more iterations. It's time for me to brew up. If you ever want to see me do this, I don't know, live or see like the full process, which is a lot. I don't know why you would want to see all of that. But, drop a comment, let me know. I can't wait to finish this blend and send it to the person that is going to and get their feedback. Cheers.